Hello there, and welcome once again to It's a Mystery, the show that tries to solve the world's most amazing mysteries.
Once again, Tristan and I will be out tracking down some incredible stories and spooky tales.
And in the studio, we'll be attempting to solve those seemingly unbelievable mysteries that baffle us all.
Such as, how did this man escape his worst nightmare?
What strange thing did 3 people witness earlier this year hovering in the night sky?
And how do we all speak with different accents? We tell you how.
Okay, let's start off today with 2 mysteries in one. And the amazing thing is, they're connected in some way. So see if you can work out how they're connected. And I have to say, it completely fooled me. Now, the first one is quite spooky, but then it has a happy ending. And the second one is rather baffling. See if you can work out the connection. Over to you, Gail.
Imagine this. You're a man from London who's finished a normal working day at the office. You're on the underground train going home and you're looking forward to getting there. You do the same journey home day in and day out, so you automatically know when it's time to get off. Walking along the platform, you're in a world of your own, thinking about what you're going to be doing over the weekend. You realise the lights are a bit dim. You've made a mistake. It's not the right station. You must have got off too early. And the train's already gone, so you wait for the next one. But it doesn't come. Fed up with waiting, you decide to take the bus home. As you start to walk down the platform to find a way out, you suddenly realise how quiet it is. It then dawns on you, you're alone. You are in fact completely alone. You make your way to the lift. You press the button and wait. And wait. The lift is silent. Nothing. It can't be working. Something just isn't quite right.
What's going on here?
Getting worried, you try to find the stairs. Up, up and up you climb. And just when you think you're nearly there, you're faced with a dead end.
Oh no.
You can hear the outside noises, but you can't get out.
Help!
The exits are blocked, completely blocked.
Help me!
It's your ultimate nightmare.
Help me, please!
You're trapped.
Is there anybody there?
Strange stuff, eh? But just hang on. That's the first story. Now here's the second, and see if you can work out the connection.
Have a nice weekend, won't you?
I will, and you.
Meanwhile, in a little florist's in North London,
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
the shopkeeper had one eye on the clock and was keen to shut up shop.
At last.
But things weren't quite as normal as they seemed. A muffled noise comes from the corner of the room behind the wooden panel. He goes over to check it out, but the noise stops. He waits. Nothing. Puzzled, he finally packs up for the day and leaves his shop.
So there we are then, two very strange tales. A man stuck alone in an underground station with what appears to be no way of getting out, and a shop where strange noises were heard. So what could the connection be? Have you got any idea? Well, it did actually happen to a man many years ago who was on an underground train that accidentally made an unplanned stop at a station that had been closed for years. Now, the man got off the train and he found himself trapped in a station where the lifts had been taken out, the stairways blocked, and shops had been built over the station. So as the man frantically knocked, the shopkeeper above heard the strange noises coming from the corner of his shop. So what happened to the man? Well, a few hours later, some railway workers spotted him and safely rescued him. A happy ending. Oh, and by the way, it did happen a long time ago, and it couldn't possibly happen today.
It's a mystery why orange jam is called marmalade.
Does it have something to do with the Portuguese language?
Or is it named after the Duke of Marmalade?
Or is it to do with a special orange colouring? What do you think?
Well, the most likely explanation is that it got its name from the Portuguese word marmelada, a stiff paste which is made from oranges and quinces.
Hello, my name's Brenda Ray and I come from Mickleover in Derbyshire. I'd like to tell you about a weird thing I saw in the sky in January 1981. It was about 5 o'clock in the evening and my children were playing in the back garden and I was peeling potatoes ready for our evening meal. Suddenly my oldest daughter shouted very loudly, "Mum, come out here, come and have a look at this." I ran out into the garden and the children were looking up between the trees, and in the gap between them was a black shape in the sky. As it drew closer and over our heads, I could distinctly see the shape of a wartime propeller plane. It had 4 engines and a pitchfork tail, knife blade wings, and a glass dome over the cockpit. It was low enough to see the propellers moving. As it passed overhead, we ran round into the front garden and watched it disappear behind the houses opposite. "What is it?" asked one of the children. Without even stopping to think, I said, "Well, it looks like a Lancaster bomber." And I told her it was an old warplane, one from the Second World War. I'm certain that's what it was. I still can't remember whether I could hear the engines or not, but my daughter said it was the noise that made her look up. At the time it was witnessed by all 4 of us. I looked it up in the Book of Old Aircraft and we all agreed that it was a Lancaster bomber. I also found out that there were only 2 Lancasters left in flying condition at this time, and one of them was in a museum somewhere and the other one was in Canada. So it was a real mystery.
It certainly was. What a really weird story. A family who see the ghost of an old warplane flying overhead, only to find out that it couldn't possibly have been the real thing. So, okay, what was it? Was it a plane taking part in a local air show? Well, we contacted nearby Derby Library and they told us there were no air shows in the area at the time. And what's more, there have been other reports of the same sort of thing about 40 miles away earlier this year. In March, several witnesses reported seeing the ghost of a phantom Lancaster bomber plane, apparently in trouble low over the moors near Sheffield. So what do you think to the idea of so-called phantom sightings? Do you dismiss them as absolute rubbish? Well, believe it or not, planes are not the only phantom objects to be seen. Over the years, there have been numerous reports of ghostly phantom horses, phantom cats, and there is even said, wait for this, to be a complete phantom city. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but according to various reports many years ago, over the American state of Alaska, there was a ghostly sighting in the sky of the complete city of Bristol. So what's going on? Is everyone imagining things, or could ghostly phantom sightings really occur? And what was Brenda's bomber?
I can only say that I really think it was a phantom plane. But that night I got the feeling that I was seeing something that had happened before, perhaps not once, but perhaps many, many times.
believe in UFOs? Well, I'm not sure myself, you know. However, it's a mystery what hovered in the night sky above the Romney Marsh in Kent.
Good night. Yeah, see you tomorrow.
On the 3rd of March earlier this year, Maggie Benson was in a great mood after an evening out with friends. It was a cool, dry, quiet night. Perfect driving conditions. She got into a car, switched on the radio and turned the volume up high and set off on her short drive home.
Night, Jackie.
Meanwhile, in the same area, two guys, Pete and Geoff, were working late in Pete's shed.
Any more coffee in that flask, mate?
Yeah, there should be a drop.
Looks like this valve's going to be all right.
Brilliant. It's really bright out there tonight.
As Maggie turned into Tyler Street, Burmarsh, she noticed that the sky was very bright and wondered if there was a full moon. A little further on, she sensed that something wasn't quite right. She looked up into the sky ahead of her and slammed on the car brakes. She saw something that she'd never seen before in a night sky. And as Geoff was sorting out the drinks...
Well, Pete!
What?
Come and have a look at this.
What?
Look!
So what was all the fuss about? What had so frightened Geoff that he was unable to sort the coffee out? Did he see an intruder, or was it an animal in the fields? And what had Maggie seen whilst in her car? A shooting star or a plane of some kind? What could have shocked her into stopping her car in the middle of the road? What do you think?
As Maggie sat in the car looking out, she could see a huge triangular shape hovering about 300 metres above her. It was unlike anything she'd ever seen before. She sat, motionless, staring intently at the hovering craft. Then after a few seconds, it shot over the car and out of sight. Pete and Geoff had also spotted the weird floating object. They watched its strange movements in the sky above. Finally, it darted off into the distance.
It wasn't a plane, it was too big.
And it didn't make a noise. I don't know what it was.
So what was the strange triangular shape in the sky? Where did it come from? And how did it hover so effortlessly? Well, we asked Chris Rolfe, a member of UFOMEC, who are the local UFO monitoring group, and he said, these flying triangles have been seen all over the country. And one of the earliest sightings in this area was by a group of schoolboys near Dover in 1973. Now, Chris also ruled out the possibility that they could be American stealth bomber planes. So there we are. The objects that Maggie, Pete and Geoff saw were definitely unidentified. Unidentified flying objects. And that means there's no explanation for what it was that hovered in the night sky over Romney Marsh.
It's a mystery to us how we all manage to speak in different accents.
It's Brabrecht, Moonlicht, Nicht, the Nicht.
Yeah, try this one. All right there, lad, come in from the backyard and have a pan of scouse.
What are you saying? I mean, this is enough to drive you insane.
Well, what I was saying was it's a Brabrecht, Moonlicht, Nicht, the Nicht.
Oh, sorry, that's clears it all up.
Roughly translated, Tristan, it means it's a very nice moonlit night this evening.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, and I was saying, all right there, lad, come in from the backyard and have a pan of scouse. And roughly translated, that means, hello there, my friend, come in from the garden and have some stew.
Handy expression, that too, isn't it? Here's one for you. Hey, mate, how's it going? Why don't you come around my joint, Savvy, and we'll throw a couple of zucchinis and capsicums on the barbie.
You sound like you're very ill.
Oh, roughly translated, that is, hello there, old thing. Why don't you pop around to my gaff this afternoon and we'll throw a couple of courgettes and red peppers on the barbecue.
Still sounds as bad.
I was trying to be British there.
No chance.
All that dialect coaching isn't working. So we're all basically speaking the same language, but with different accents. But here's a test for you. See if you can identify where it is these people are from and what they're all saying.
I'm catching the bus to go and see the football. Then I'm going for a curry.
Thanks very much. That was the Birmingham accent.
Go down the road, boy, and get a batter in the barbers, and you'll get a good one to be sure.
Wow, that was something like, young man, you need to go and get a haircut from the man down the road in a Southern Irish accent, is that right? Thanks for that.
I'm going down the Snicket to see me mates.
Going down the Snicket in a Yorkshire accent.
Totally awesome, dude. Like, gag me the spoon. Way gnarly.
And that was an American way of saying something like, yes, that's outrageous. How embarrassing. It's really good. Right, thanks very much, guys. So we all speak with different accents, but the mystery is how we speak in these different accents.
Well, I'm going to introduce you to someone who teaches actors how to speak English with different accents. Famous people such as Patsy Kensit and some of the cast of EastEnders. This is Jill McCulloch. Now, Jill, exactly how do we talk in different accents?
Well, one of the things that different people speak is different tunes. So a Welsh person, for example, would be very, very lyrical, whereas an American would have a very flat tune. The other thing is how your mouth is shaped. So if your lips come forward a bit like for Geordie, whereas for Australian, your lips will go back like that. So you've got to sort of do it on a smile.
OK, now you did the Geordie there. I find that a very difficult accent to do. I mean, I'm not very good at accents, especially the Geordie one. I can hardly understand it, let alone speak it. So can you teach me how to do it?
Well, the thing with your Scouse is that you do tend to go like that with your lips.
I talk like that, especially when I go home, like, and see my mum like that.
Yeah,
like.
well, so for your Geordie, you've got to get it forward a bit more.
Get it forward a bit more.
That's it. And also the tune, it's a bit like a trampoline.
The tune's a bit like a trampoline. It's going up and down like that.
Yeah, it's going.
It's going.
That's it. So you sort of go like that, and then you go down, and then you go
like
up.
that, and then you go down, and then you go up.
That's it. You go up.
Go up.
That's it.
Going down to the match.
That's it. I'm going down Yam to get to bed, eh?
Going down to I like that. The A at the at the end.
Yeah.
Going down Yam to get to bed, eh?
That's it. To get to bed, eh?
Get to bed, eh?
That's it. So it's almost like, I mean, it does take a lot of time to teach someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's almost like changing that and also getting your tongue higher.
So am I a lost cause then?
No, you're not a lost cause.
I mean, you sort of look at me and go, oh my goodness,
no,
what's this man saying?
I'm not.
This is so good fun.
It's great.
A part of
it's hard though.
I've always fancied speaking in a well-spoken English accent. Could you, please, would you be able to teach me?
Well, well-spoken, what you want to do is imagine, first of all, that your sound is very far back in your mouth.
Back in my mouth.
Yes, exactly. And back to that sort of stiff upper lip sort of sound.
Yeah.
Or, you know, pop your finger on your lip like that, John.
Yeah.
That's it. And then it's just nothing moves, you know.
Yeah, so I just talk to you like that, you know.
And you
Would you
can't
like
be
to come
bothered.
round to my house for tea?
I'd love to, darling.
Yeah?
And then just remove your arm, yeah.
Because it's not very attractive like that.
Do you think that's how royalty learned to speak? With the finger on there?
I don't know, maybe it's a pencil balance.
Why,
I don't know.
Why, man, I do.
I do. Exactly. He's on his way.
All right, I want the other end of the scale. I want a Cockney accent.
Cockney, right. Well, if you're going to do Cockney, right, you've got to get your tongue really lazy.
Really lazy.
That's it. It's got like not
got to
to
get
that
your
bit.
tongue.
If that was your tongue, right, it don't do nothing.
Right. I'm used to a lazy tongue.
Yeah, and also like them lips. It's just like they can't be bothered, man.
They can't be bothered, man.
No, it's just like they just can't get in.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how
Rock
you
and
just
roll.
exactly. Well, don't know if you're going to say that.
Great fun to do, but whatever you do, don't try this at home because we're now trained to do it. So should we try and wrap it up? Should we just try and wrap it up? See if we can try and wrap it up. Thanks, Jill.
Okay.
It's great fun to do this. So let's see if we can see what you think. Here we go. So that solved the mystery.
Of how you learn to speak.
In loads of different accents.
So that's it then for this week. Some more of life's mysteries solved, yet some remain unsolved. So don't forget, join us next time as we will investigate more.
Here's one last wee mystery to leave you with. There's a 5-letter word in the English dictionary that every single person pronounces wrong.
Can you guess which word it is?
We'll reveal the answer next time. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Last week's final mystery was a bus driver on his way to work went through a red light and turned down a one-way street the wrong way. How come the policeman watching him ignored it? The answer is The bus driver was walking to work.